So, according to fourth unit, today we are going to discuss about two things. One is Iot design methodology. So, what are the introduction part for this? And the second one is IoT design methodology. I want to complete, if possible, some basics of Python. Okay, already you know Python very well. So, but just I want to introduce according to my syllabus. So if you know also, you don't have a choice. So must and should go through some data types and data structures and flow control and functions, modules and packages and file handling. So date and time operations and some classes in the Python. So this is the according to syllabus. So it will take around 3 classes to 4 classes. So for entire thing. So that's why first I want to compute this thing and I will give the notes also according to what we execute. So first we will see. So what is the IoT design methodology? We know. So if you have certain application, take anything. Are you able to hear my voice and are you able to see my screen? Can anyone help me? Hello. Are you able to hear my voice? I am audible. No one responding. Yes, yes. Okay, thank you. Yes, are visible and audible. అవును. వీళ్ళు మంచి పిల్లలు మేడం కొంచెం. ఓకే. Okay. So now we'll see. So according to this thing. So what is the introduction part about the IoT design methodology? So you have some design methodology you need to follow. So for that, I want to give some example. First of all, there is a system, maybe a microprocessor or microcontroller, something is there with me. So generally you call it as a microprocessor system or board. Simply I called it is a board. So what board I am not talking, sir. So maybe whether it is a Arduino or Raspberry Pi or Node MCU or Beacon board. So anything, but some board is there. So this board is the purpose of this board is to maintain the hardware. And you know, according to second, third unit and first unit, you know the definition and everything. And you know some information related to some sensors. So sensors are going to give some information. So this sensor information is going to put it on somewhere. So maybe it is going to put on some actuators and maybe it is stored in a cloud. Okay, so some database is there with us. So with the database you need to store. Okay, so this is my database. So what I am storing. Okay, so this is some storage area network, or simply you can call it as a cloud, cloud. So the cloud, I can make like anything. So like, so this is the cloud. So always we are calling cloud computing, cloud storage. So storage area network, SAN. Okay, this is the cloud. So this is nothing but my memory. Okay, storage area network or storage. So it is nothing but my database. And here I have some actuators. So these are called maybe motor or LED. So there is some sensor, some LDR or potentiometer or some IR sensor. So like this, you have some different kind of things. So this one very well known for you also. But we need to approach for designing of a particular application. So like application in the sense, maybe weather monitoring system. Weather monitoring system. I want to implement weather monitoring system or hospital management system or military application. So in all these cases, must and should be require certain actuator. So must and should be require certain processing, and must and should require you have certain cloud, and you must and should activate some motors or some missile or something. So some action is there. So the processing unit is required, and some sensors are required, some actuators are required, some storage area network or cloud is required. With respect to these things, so you have certain remote applications, not only one system is. So there are several these type of systems are connected to the same cloud. Maybe you take there are 80 systems are participated in a thing. So these 80 systems maybe, so this is one node. I call it as a one node. So one more node is there here. So one more node is there here. This is also capable to do all these things. This is also capable. But the centralized thing is stored in a cloud. Here, how these are all are connected by means of a cloud. Simple. So for this, applications are different. Whether it is a educational application, military application, funded application, or application oriented, domain specific, okay, application specific, or so depends upon lot of applications are there. So in millions of applications are there nowadays. But there is a general approach is required to do all these things. You must and should require a general approach to development of an IoT system. So that one you called methodology. So that one only you call methodology. Methodology in the sense simply you have particular idea. So a generalized thing is there as like a OSI model in a computer network. In computer network always we are talking about so open system for interface. So like that or TCP IP reference model. Some reference is required. So according to that reference only, we are going to develop these all things and connect it together and achieve a good application. So for that approach, we are going to study about certain application called or application development. So IoT application development mechanism. Now we want to observe. That is the introductory part. So first, according to today's class, we are going to discuss about the application development model. Okay, so developing an Internet of Things and logical design using Python. Okay, so this is the chapter name. So introduction and IoT design methodology. So what are the design methodology? So some steps are there. If you want to design, so you need to follow something. So for suppose, so when you join into Stanley College of Engineering and Technology for Women, so they gave you some rules book. Okay, so if you want to join in this college, these are the rules, these are the timings, so these are the some governing body. Like that, they are going to give some rules and regulation thing. You already signed on that, so then only you got admission in this campus. Same way, Usmania University, when you submit your application fee and everything, you registered for Usmania University also for your certification purpose, and the university is not responsible for any kind of your failures and everything. So like that, some rules and regulations are there. Same way, if you want to develop certain embedded system application, first you need to decide the purpose and the requirement. So what are the purpose? So yesterday one of your classmate came with certain idea, and so she mentioned the purpose of our application and what are the requirements. First thing only that thing. So the problem definition you required. Okay, the problem finding is required, and must and should be certain requirements are there. So she don't know. So what it is required, whether Raspberry Pi is required, whether Arduino is required, whether Node MCU is required, like that also. He or she don't know its starting point. First they have come some abstract level. So once abstract level is completed, define the purpose and the requirements of the IoT system. Okay, first you need to define exactly why you need to define, sir. So same way in our regular daily life also. So must and should be you must and should be smart, smart. Smart means you don't think your hairstyle, dressing style, or which type of graduates gadgets, electronic gadgets you are using. So whether a Apple phone or so Apple band, wristband, or Apple laptop. So that is not only the smartness. Smartness means not only that thing. So your dressing style is not only smartness. Smart means what? You are smart. Means your ideation is smart. So smart in the sense, if you call about a small girl or a boy around 6 months, 1 year, so at that instant you call it as a smart. He is very smart. So that is a different meaning. But if you are thinking about a graduate student is a smart, means we are not talking about the beautiness. You are talking about the ideation, how you are thinking, how he or she is going to think. Okay, so that ideation is very 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 important. So that's why how it is smart. So maybe everybody know that thing, just I want to specify the thing. So smart in the sense, some people like this, PD classes and everywhere the people are talking about these things only, smart. So in that, S is nothing but specify. Your task must and should you need to specify. So in your eighth class, seventh class, ninth class, the teacher is always going to ask, what is your life ambition? So at that moment, some people told, yes, I want to become a software engineer. I want to become an engineer. I want to become pilot. I want to become doctor. So like that, they are going to tell. Yes, they are going to talk about the thing. That is first thing. Specify. Your thing is must and should you need to specify. In your life, your goal must and should be specified. And the second thing is M. So M is nothing but simply, okay. So is it achievable or measurable? Simply the measurability is there for that. So my goal is defined. Maybe from here I want to throw a stone. I want to throw a stone to. I am in Stanley College right now. My life ambition is I want to throw a stone to Hussain Sagar Buddha, and I want to create a world record. Is it measurable? So you need to think about that thing, the measurability. So whether it is possible or not. So maybe I want to become a doctor. Maybe now it is not possible for me because my age is 37 years and my background is engineering. Maybe at this moment it is not possible. Maybe for you it is possible because already doctors are there in the community. So you want to become a cardiologist. Yes, maybe you can because it is measurable goal. So maybe I want to become a America president, not measurable because I'm an Indian community. So if I go to America also, there maybe they are not going to, I'm not a citizen of America, so they are not going to accept. So that measurability is required. So that is next, A. So A is achieved. Okay, if somebody achieved that thing, because some moral example we required. So if we want to do any type of task, some moral thing, so whether it is achievable or anybody achieved, so that thing also you need to put in your mind. So next, the reality. So I want to make a world record on, for suppose I have a Splendor Plus, a Honda Splendor Plus thing. So I want to travel 200 kilometers in 1 hour by using Splendor Plus. So in reality, it is not possible. Maybe in imagination, I can. Yes. So when I am sleeping, so I can easily. Yes. So that is that reality must and should required for your any type of decision or for your any type of definition. The reality is must and should. So don't imagine. Okay, so your application, your IoT application is also must and should be real. And next last one, this is very very important. I want to become a doctor. Okay, very good. But when you are at 16, you are at 30, or you are at 60. If you are at in 30, if you become a doctor, okay, patients are there around you. Or otherwise, if you become a doctor in 60s, so doctors are there surrounding you. So that is choice. There is nothing but the time. The time bound is very, very, very important. So I can do, but when? So this is a very, very important thing in life. Same way, Here we are talking about the subject, same thing. So the purpose you need must and should tell, and the reality of the purpose and requirements are real. So I want a device. So if I on that device, automatically in that only there is a internet of facility is required. All the things automatically it can scan the what type of WLAN is there, and automatically it establish a connection. So it can establish a link with cloud. So these type of device I want, but in reality such type of device is not there in the market. So maybe if you want to make such type of device, you can. So that much of reality is required. So define purpose and requirement of IoT system, and process model specification. Okay, so here, yes, this is my process. So that means a flow diagram like that thing you need to tell. This process model specification is required always. So next to define the use cases. So these are very very important in software development and software engineering also. First you need to define the use cases. Who are the end users? So who is the developer? So what is the role? Okay, so some manager is there, some admin is there, some modifier is there, some end user is there. So what are their roles? So that roles and everything you need to uh, talk in this model. Next to domain model specification. Yes, domain. So define physical entities. What are the different physical entities, and what type of room shape I want? So what are the real things I want at that hardware facility and everything. The virtual entities. The virtual entities also you need to think. Next devices, resources, and service in the IoT system. So what type of services you are going to provide in your system. So next, information model specification. So this is also one of the thing. In this information model specification, define the structure first of all, and relations. So what are the one to many, many to one. So what is the process to process relationship and everything you need to tell. Next, some attributes. So what are the attributes? What things you are going to change? Okay. So of all the information in the IoT system. Next, service specifications. So map process and information model to service, and define the service of specifications. These are all very very important. Service specifications also you need to tell before only. Next, IoT level specification. So what level of IoT, that one. So define the IoT level for the system. So next, functional view and specification. So must and should you see the functional view and different type of specifications like map, IoT level functioning and functional groups. Next, operational view specification. So define the communication options, service hosting options, and storage options, device options. So what are the different options you have in your software development or hardware development? So generally you call it as a IoT development. Next, finally, the device component integration. So you need to integrate and install and interface the entire device. So integrate devices, develop and integrate the components and everything. So let's last finally application development. So what type of data you got? Finally depends upon the data only. You need to develop the application and present to the end user. Okay, so this is about the some process of internet of thing. That is nothing but, so whenever you want to design, some methodology is required to design some method. A specific, a general purpose method is required. That method is defined in this, and each topic, that is step one, what you are doing, the purpose and requirement specification. So the first step in IoT system design methodology is define the purpose and requirements of the system. In this step, so the system purpose, behavior and requirements such as collection requirements, data analysis. So generally it is called literature survey, like the system management requirements, data privacy and security. Say what are the security aspects you want. So what are the threats you have. So the user interface. So what are the requirements for user interface? What sensors are you required? So like that. So these things are must and should be need to discuss in the level one. Then step two, the process specification. The second step in the IoT design is first must and should need to define a concrete definition is required for your application. So in this step, use the use cases of the IoT system are formally described based on the so derived from okay from the purpose and requirement specifications. So that is use cases must and should be you need to use case diagram development is there in a second step. And step 3, domain model specification. So you know the third step is this thing. And the domain model definition attributes are the objects, entities, and IoT domain, the independent system, or it is depends upon some other technology, some specific platform only it can use, or any other platforms also it is possible. So with the domain model, you need to decide these things. So here step 4, the information model specification. So the fourth step is simply the methodology is defined in the information model. So in this information, so what type of information I am collecting from the sensor, or some attributes of virtual entities. So the relationship between the some process to process. So the information model does not describe the specifics, the specifications, how the information is required or stored. So these are the main methods you need to deploy in this. Next, service specifications. So what type of service you are going to provide? So the level specification and service provides. So here we are going to the service schedule. So for suppose after every day it is going to update. For suppose WhatsApp is there. So when you install WhatsApp in your system, so if you think it is an IoT application, so in your mobile it is installed. So it will ask every week I need to update, every day I need to backup, or every month I need to backup like that. So the scheduling of the your data services and your storage services and everything must and should need to think. And the updates. So every year there is update, or every month there is update, or version change. So how is the compact level, the compatibility levels and everything you need to describe in this. Next, to step 6, in IoT level specifications, so the sixth method is nothing but level of the system. You know the levels of IoT for which each one it is possible. So how many levels are there? Generally, anyone in the class. There are what are the IoT levels? So there is a question in internal also. That question is came in internal also. Anyone can type in a message bar. Okay, you can type. How many levels are there in Internet of Things? 5, wrong. Anyone? 6, very good. 6. So that's why only sixth point I gave. Wantedly, I make that thing as a sixth point. So yeah, 6 levels are there. Okay, IoT levels. So in that, which level it is? So that's right. So the functional view specification, the seventh step is nothing but. So here, the functional view you need to write. The views you need to write. Next, functional groups also you need to make. So either a service group or whether it is a user group. Okay, so like that you need to divide them into some certain functional groups. Next to the operational view specification. So the eighth step in the IoT design. So if you know the software engineering somewhat, so automatically this one without reading only you can tell, you can talk about this thing. So here the operational view specifications. In this step, various operations operating to the IoT system deployment and development. So such as service hosting options. Service hosting. So some applications once you purchase it, so they are going to provide with respect to lifelong services. So some applications are only 6 months. Some things are only 1 month. So like that. So the hosting options. So where is the another company doing that hosting, or only your company is able to do that thing. So nowadays, so the people are very smart, the telephone and everything. So in Samsung and for suppose if you take iOS, so this type of Apple mobile, so all are at the same place maximum times, but in some cities they are providing like that. So previously Samsung is at a separate place, iOS mobile is separate place, that is Apple is at separate place like that. but nowadays all are at same place. So because the service group is a different company, that is they are nothing but a private holders or digital subscribers, and they have, so depends upon their service abilities, the company is hiring the people, and they can give you the authorized information, that is nothing but they are sharing in their groups. Okay, so in their service domain. So next to device and component integration. So this is the ninth step. Must and should need to integrate all the components. So in inclination angle, what are the inclination angle? What are the voltage sources required? In which direction I want to incline? So if you see telephone network, so they must and should first integrate all these things. After that, so they will check the application. So with respect to the final step in the IoT methodology is to so develop the IoT application. So simply they develop the certain IoT application, and with respect to that thing only here. Okay. So now here the second part, that is the first part, sir. That's it. Only one topic is there in that. That is nothing but simple and the methodology of IoT development. Okay. The second part. So this is somewhat it will take some long time, maybe, but as like C language, it will take around 60 classes, 48 classes, 50 classes like that. But the same thing, the entire what you learned in C in your first year. So we want to discuss in 4 or 5 classes only as a Python. So these are the some things. So I want everybody's participation in this, because already you know Python. So can anyone respond? So this subject is already there in your syllabus previously. Hello, please respond. Don't sleep, because I know this is a sleeping time. But yeah, previously you have Python in your curriculum or not? You completed or parallelly now it is going on? Yes. So in which semester you have? Yeah, Pooja Kulkarni. Yes. See you only in my class. Remaining all are. So, no. In which semester? So fifth semester or fourth semester or sixth semester only we are studying. Right now we are studying. In third semester we completed Python. So I want some people. So I will ask namely. So that person only must and should give response. So Shreya, is there Shreya M? Shreya Mokri. So you respond. So can you tell me one of the application of the Python? So what are the uses of Python, or what is the application of Python? If you are able to unable to speak directly, you type in a message box or chat box. Otherwise, I will remove you. Simple. The task is simple. So I want to remove here. Okay. Yes. Yeah. Can you tell me one of the application of the Python? You know Python. So Python is a some sophisticated language to do all the application back end, front end, and everything. So web development and machine learning. Okay, Python is used for web development and machine learning. Okay, very good, very good. Thank you. So is there a automatic? Okay. So yeah, game development. Okay, game develop. No, not like that. General purpose you need to talk. So it is not a game development like that. So generally you need to speak out. Okay. So now, so I am going to ask. So okay, one of the person. Vaishnavi S. Vaishnavi S. Is there? Yeah. So you respond in the chat box. So according to her, so he told or she told. some applications. So what is the Python in your view? Vaishnavi, yes, I am asking. According to you, what is Python? It is only just programming language, or it is only a scripting language, or whether it is only database management purpose also you can use, or web development purpose you can use, framework development purpose you can use, or what is your way, or what is your view? Is there Shreya? In your view, what is the thing? Vaishnavi, yes, I'm asking. Yeah, if you are unable to answer, you can type. It is a programming language, simple programming language, as like a C. So by using Python, I can develop only some programming, like some IoT applications or something. It is simple programming language or what? I'm asking. So here already I displayed and I'm asking. So you can type them also at least. So my intention is, so you are following or you are sleeping. That's why only. So then, so we will discuss certain characteristics. So it is a Python is high level language, no doubt at all in that. So the language suitable for providing a solid function, okay, the foundation to the reader in the area of cloud computing. If you want to work in artificial intelligence, cloud computing, and data mining, and if you are working web development, if you are application developer, gaming developer, framework developer. So in any case, so must and should be Python is nowadays very reliable and very sophisticated language. Okay. The main characteristics: multi-paradigm programming language. So what is this? Multi-paradigm, not a single paradigm. Okay, multi. So in this only there is a lot of meaning. The meaning is simple. So here, wherever you go, your network follows. That is nothing but previously it is Vodafone. So Hutch, now it is Vodafone. Okay, that ad is coming in the TVs and everywhere. Same way, if you go to any field, any kind of field, the Python programming language you can use, and it is its simplicity, and it's a common as like a language. You need not to follow the particular syntax like C++ in that must and should you need to follow certain syntax. So print ln you need to write, print ln Java, always we are writing printf. In C you need to write printf, and must and should you need to write some double quotes and indentation. So a lot of the things are required. So but in Python, so it is very useful, and it is very simple. The simplicity is also very well known thing. Next, Python supports more than one programming paradigms, including object oriented programming language and structured programming. See, so Java, if you take Java, it is a object oriented programming language. If you take C, a structured programming language. So but if you take Python, it can do both. Okay. Next, interpreted language. So the interpreter, Java interpreter. So previously it is Java is one of the interpreter language. So Java RMI, remote method invocation, Java swings, Java applets. So these are the lot of things are there, but they are all are old now. The swings, applets, something. But it is an interpreted language as like a Java interpreter. Python is an interpreted language and does not require an explicit compilation step. Okay, so the implicit and explicit compilation steps are not required for this. So the Python, okay, interpreter executes the program source code directly, so without any compilation and without any converting into the low level language like that. So directly it can do the operation. Then statement by statement as a processor or scripting, okay, engine does. Okay, so like if you microprocessor, if you take 8086 already you know, so as the 8086 how it is doing, so same way your Python also doing line by line, so without any compilation. Next to interactive language, so more interactive as like our English language you can write your program. Next, Python provides an interactive mode in which the user can submit commands at the Python prompt and interact with the interpreter directly. So, like MATLAB. See, in MATLAB also you can do like that. So, if you have the interaction with the Python, simply without writing a program also you can. So, these are the some benefits of Python. So, easy to learn and read and maintain. So that is the one of the benefit of Python. Next to object and procedure oriented protocol. So object and procedure oriented also it can work. So and Python is also extensible. So you can add your own libraries and packages and everything. Next, it is scalable. So due to the okay, minimalistic nature of the Python, so it provides the okay, manageable structure for the large programs. So there is some structure, predefined structures are not there. So you can define your own structure. So that's why it is very scalable. Next, the portability. The since the Python is an interpreted language and programs do not worry about the compilation, okay, linking and loading, so etc. These all are not required for that. Directly Python program can be directly executed from source code to execution is started. Next, board library support. So the Python has a board library support and works on various platforms such as Windows, Linux, Mac, etc. So because Python have some libraries required. If you want to work with Raspberry Pi, also you require something. If you want to work with some other type of devices like Arduino, so you know, so or any Arduino IDEs and everywhere also you can write some Python coding and everything. So you know the Python setup. So directly you go to Python libraries. Just in Windows, you need to download the setup file. So in Linux directly by using certain commands also you can do. So yeah, everybody knows Python installation and everything. How many of you don't know Python installation in this class? Or how many of you know? Just type your roll number. That's it. In message box, how many of you know how to install Python and work with Python? I'm not talking about the PyCharm, or I'm not talking about the OpenCV or something. Okay. So we installed in the lab. So the programmer installed or you installed? Okay, you only did. So in your laptop also you can, or otherwise direct some simulation tools also there. Okay, some tools are there, simulation tools and everything. So that means the Python is a very useful thing. So you can use some tools like. So I'm going to show something called Python mm, online GDB compiler. So online GDB compiler for C, C++, Java. You can a lot of things are there here. So directly I can Python 3. Okay. So select Python 3. So here if you type this thing, so already you know the Python doesn't require any specific type of thing. So directly if you hit on this thing, so it will display hello world. Okay. So these type of tool. So the simplicity you see, whether it is a C programming language, you mustn't require. If you go with the C language, so I want to change the notation, reload. stop. Okay. So if you take C, the hello world program, see. So this much code I need to write the stdio.h. I need to write the main, and I need to write the hello world. So some rules and regulations are there for C. Whether it is an integer, I need to return some zero or something. So whether it is wide, I need not to return. So there is some confusion for the user. So that's why directly if you go with the Python type of tool, so you can use it. Yes. So this is only the code. So what you are going to do? So that thing only you need to just type here. Okay. So like this, the simplicity is there. So then how to learn? So the best way you can learn, so by using online simulators also. So otherwise, this is always I am giving W3 schools Python. So Python tutorial W3 schools. So here first. So this is the Python. So how to learn the Python and everything. So Python home. So the Python intro. So introduction. So what is Python and so like this. So Python is a popular programming language. It was created by okay Guido van Rossum, and it is from 1991. So that nowadays it is popular, but he released in 1991 only. Okay. So web development purpose you can use server side as well as client side also. Software development and mathematics, system scripting purpose and everything. So what can Python do? So why Python? So good to know Python syntax. So this is a simple hello world. So if you want to try anything here. So Python getting started. So the Python installation of the Python. So here so you use it your Python and version. So directly you can install so some Mac system like this. So Python certain version. So Python quick start. Simply Python hello world.py. So you type in that hello world.py. So how to execute in our command prompt. So like this. So next here the syntax. So what are the syntax rules you need to follow? So to execute a Python syntax, print hello world. Okay, so automatically hello world is printed. So here the Python okay indentation. So the indentation if phi greater than 2, then phi is greater than 2. So directly you can write. So these are the some things. So according to this thing, so what topics we have, that one only we need to concentrate. So we are not going to concentrate on all the things. So just first thing, so in according to my thing, so first basics of Python. Yes. So Python data types and data structures. Okay. So what are the data types I have? So what type of data structures it can provide? So so this is the best one. So we need not to depend upon any other things. Okay. So then first it is Python data types. So what are the built-in data types? There are some built-in data types are there. See. So you know str, int, float, numeric type, and sequence type, list, tuple. So some range. So mapping type. So DASCT. So then set types, set to, and frozen set, boolean type bool, so binary type bytes and byte array, okay, memory view, so non the type. So last time also I did this thing. So what the CSC people told, yes we know the Python properly. So because all these topics are very basics, because we have the subject in our fourth semester or somewhere. So that's why just I gave some notes and I'm explaining them. Simple, some 10 programs I think. Yes. So these are some Python data types. So what are the data structure? So data structure is different and the data type is different. Yes. So data structure in the sense so in C, and linked list is the data structure. Yes. C language always you are talking linked list, singly linked list, doubly linked list. So like that, you have certain structure. the data structure in the sense stack implementation. Stack is the data structure, and pipe, hollow pipe, and next we have some doubly linked list, single linked list. By using linked list implementations, you can do. So trees, so trees, B trees and trees you can implement. So like that, our entire syllabus is going on that way only. So mainly I want to concentrate on, so according to our syllabus only. So first we will see the data types. After that we are going to control flow. So what is the control flow? Everywhere we have such type of control flow is required. So in C, first I want to compare with C because you know very well about C language. So in Python also you have some control flow is there. Same way in C also you have certain control flow. So what is that? So for suppose I want to make some decision, some decision like if condition. So if condition. So a simple if. The simple if consisting only true block. It is consisting only one true block. So same way, if else condition having true and false block. So many of you know, if else condition must and should have true and false block. Or suppose if I go with the nested if, so or nested nesting of if as well as if else ladder. So I have more number of conditions I can continue. So or I can process. So every time depends upon my requirement. More number of conditions I can process the things. So at that moment, so how I'm going to process the things. So for suppose I have something, some data is coming from upper layers, sir, or some upper steps, because like this data is coming, the control is coming. So in this control I want to decision. Okay, some decision is required. So this decision, so after completion of this decision only I want to go to this thing. So maybe if it is a if else condition, so if true, so this one I call it is a true block. If it is a true, so I will go downward direction. Otherwise I want to go and I want to check one more time. Okay, so that is called nested if condition. That is if else ladder condition. So like this you have number of blocks. So like this you have, so here, so like this. So if we have n number of conditions, must and should you need to do n minus 1 times, you need to compare. That is the drawback with the if else ladder. So if you go with certain thing called switch case. So in that switch case, if we have n number of conditions also, only one time comparison is more enough. So that is the advantage about the switch case. So like that our discussion is going on. We are concentrating on only the application oriented. So that is nothing but according to our syllabus and according to requirement only we will. So that's why this is more enough, sir. So if you participate in this W3 schools and Python, so you can easily you can do. So x is equal to 5. So print type x. So that means what? Here I am not defining whether it is integer or a character or float or something. But if it is a C language or Java or somewhere, must and should be I need to tell what type of data. Okay, the setting the data type. So x is equal to hello world, x is equal to 20, x is equal to 20.5. So x is equal to 1j, that is complex. Okay, here I'm giving floating point or double. So here integer, so here it is a string value, so here it is a complex number. So it is nothing but what, simply it is a linked list or array. Simple I call it is a list. Simple. Yes. So then here it is nothing but simple x is equal to tuple. It's a tuple. It's a tuple of data. Next x is equal to range 6. So the range function you can do. So then, so like this you have lot of for suppose if you want to see the range. So class the range. Okay. So range is equal to 6. Display x. To display x, print x. So display the data type of x. So print Type X is nothing but range. So it is in the class of range. Okay. So like that you can. So if you run this program, so automatically got the output like that. Okay. So this is a very useful thing. So you can directly run on this Python. Okay. Next, numbers. Python number system. So int, float, complex. So there are integer. So y is equal to 2.8 floating number. Z is equal to 1j or 2j, aj something. So print type of x, print type of y, print type of z. Like this you can use. So already you know integer means what? It is starting from x is equal to minus 2 to the power of n minus 1 to plus 2 to the power of n minus 1. Okay. So like that the data can be in between the two limits always. So like that we can use Python number system. Same way floating point numbers. These floating point numbers are just we call it is a double also. So are floating point number also. So print type of x, type of y, and a type of z. Okay. So yeah, just a minute. Hello. Yes. ఎక్కడి నుంచి అండి? చెప్పండి. అవును. హ్మ్. హ్మ్. ఓకే. ఎప్పుడు రావాలి? ఎట్లా కలెక్ట్ చేసుకోవాలి? ఈ రోజే రావాలా? ఓకే అండి. ఆ! ఆమె రావటం కుదరదు అందుకే అడుగుతున్నా. లేరు. హ్మ్. ఆమె రావటానికి మినిమమ్ 2, 3 మంత్స్ పడుతుంది. లేరు. లేరు. అట్లా ఉన్నారు. ఫ్రెండ్స్ ఉన్నారు. ఓకే అండి. ఓకే. ఓకే అండి. ఓకే. ఐ యామ్ ఇన్ క్లాస్. ఐ విల్ కాల్ లేటర్. ఓకే. Yeah. So here you can do these type of things. Data and how to represent the data. So complex data, how to represent, how to print. So type conversion. So from one type of data to another. So in C, what you call it is a type casting. So here simply both are same, type conversion and type casting. So a float of x. So that means what? Simply x is a different type. Now we are converting that thing into floating point number and assigned to a. So now onwards, a is nothing but floating point number. So like that. So b is a int y. So if it is a y is a different number also, so you can convert into integer and assign to c. So like that you can convert from one to another. So there is a random number. So if you want to do Java or somewhere, so in C, if you want to do random number, there is a lot of trouble. But in Java, in Python, if you do random number, it is the simplest one. Yes. So random dot random, okay, random range, so 1 to 10. So in between 1 to 10, so the upper limit and lower limit always we are selecting. So depends upon number of times, how many number of times you can run. So like that, the probability, according to the probability, it can give. So if you want to give the closed boundary and open boundary also you can give. So like that. So depends upon our requirements. So not only 1, 2, it is not counting 1, 2, 3, 4 like that. So just it is generating certain random number. Okay. So depends upon these type of the randomness is we can't the probability of this random number is 1 by 10. Yes, because of 10 chances are there. So 1 by 10. So what is the next chance coming of 7? So we don't know when it is going to come. So the chance is 1 by 10. Okay, getting a 7. So like that, these things are going to work. So next, that is called Python casting. So specify variable types. So int, float, so str, so like this. So already we saw this type casting, one type to another type. So how to cast the variables. So how to convert a string to number and everything. So next, Python strings. So in Python, how we are going to access the strings. So, so like this, I prepared some notes also here. So not only that thing. So some data types. So Python numbers are there. So yeah. So these are some data types, number type of data. So how to execute. So when you type some instruction on the Python, so Python list. So you can use Python list a is equal to 1 comma 2.2 comma. So Python. So that means what? So it is a multi type of data as like a structure in C. If you want to do this type of thing, you must and should use a structure. But here, no need. So it is integer type, it is a floating type, it is a string type data. So like that, so you can use anything. The scripts also you can write like this. So any type of Python script and Python tuple. So you need to explain about all these things. So Python strings, Python tuples, and everything. Okay. So this is about the Python data types. Next, the case studies Python if else statement. How it is going to use if else statements. So here if elif, okay, so or else. So elif and else statements is used Python in the decision making. Simple, the syntax is first if test expression, so that expression colon, the indentation is very very important always, and the statements you can write some statements. So if the text expression is false, automatically it will go to the, this is simple if condition is. So if statement flowchart, see here it is mentioning. So text expression and once again it will go to the upward direction. So false or true. So depends upon the things. The next, Python if statement, how to implement the things. So num is equal to 3. If num is greater than 0, then print num is a positive number. Simple. So next print. This always be printed. Okay. So num is equal to -1. If num is greater than, so this thing automatically positive number. So is a positive number or not? So simply depends upon the conditions only. So else it is, this always be printed as the thing. That means positive or negative. So you can directly decide by using these type of statements and everything. So some examples I given. So if else condition, how it is. The second statement is not working, sir, here. Only this one, the first statement only. But in if else condition, the second statement also valid. If test expression, body of if. So else, so body of else. So depends upon the thing. So then the if else statements evaluates the text expression and the body of the both. So text expression true, so body of if, else body of else. So directly. So this is if else. So now it is validated. So whether it is a positive or negative. So it will print depends upon the data. So next to if and if else, the else if, as well as finally else. So this one we called if else ladder. Okay. So the if else ladder. So like this. So just now I show you a diagrammatic representation also. So first we got the some control. So depends upon if it is a true, first only it will do. So otherwise it will once again check the condition number 2. So if condition number 2 also failed, automatically it will go to condition number 3. So like that, n number of conditions are there. So depends upon n minus 1 times it will uh, go into the thing. That's why it is if else ladder. Okay. So like this. So Python nested of if statements. Yes, you can do nesting, but here somewhat confusion is there. So when you are doing the nesting, the indentation you must and should take care. Okay. So here num is greater than or equal to 0, then only you go into this thing. Otherwise, you go to else. So like that. So in this also you have uh, two conditions. If it is greater than or equal to 0, so if it is num is equal to 0, print 0. So else print positive. So in else condition automatically it is negative. So a condition in condition is called nesting. And for suppose a loop in loop called nesting of the loop. So like that. So always you know, in for loop is in for loop, while loop is in while loop. So like that we can do the looping also. Yes. So Python looping and branching. So the branching or conditioning already we did now. So Python loops. So how to execute with the Python loops tomorrow. So with some one or two examples I will explain. So that is more enough. I think you are in the uh, vacation period, so I don't want to bother that much. So okay, so I want to stop at this moment because one or two students are waiting for me, so for their project work and everything. Thank you. Thank you. So this is about the unit. So it is simple. Completion of the syllabus is not a problem for me at all. So I can take three within 3 classes, 4 classes also it will do. So now we are at the phase of flow control done. So flow control and looping I need to complete here later. So in next class I want to complete up to that file handling. So next class within 2 classes. So maybe we are going to complete up to operations. So last class is classes. So this will take this week maximum we will complete one class also. Next week this one is very easy. So IoT devices and some example boards. So Linux on Raspberry Pi. So how to install and how to take that Linux platform into your Raspberry Pi. Some interfaces and programming and IoT devices. I will give unit wise some notes as well as some questions, some important questions also in it I will provide. Okay, thank you. So I want to take attendance right now. So respond your roll calls. So if you are unable to speak out, simply you type your number on the message box. So this is today is 18. 18. Okay. Yeah, roll number 1 to 10. 1 to 10 IoT class. Yeah. Make it fast. 1 to 10 who are present, just to type your number, just last 2 digits of your number on the chat box. That's it. Roll number 1 to 10. Nobody present. So roll number 5. Okay. Are you able to understand what I am talking? Just you type your roll number, last 2 digits only. You need not to type entire number also, because no other numbers are there with us. Roll number 5 only present. 1 to 10. So 10 to 20. 10 to 20. So 13, 12, 19. Okay. Next 20 to 25. 20 to 25. 20 to 25. Okay. Yeah. Next 25 to 30. 26, 27. Okay. Next 30 to 40. 33. 240 these are. Next 40 to 50. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So only 10 numbers are there here, but in the meeting there are 20 19 members are there. I don't know why. Okay, they are unable to speak out. Okay, but yeah, inform in the group, sir. In your personal group, give the attendance first. Maybe they are sleeping. Just on the class and they are sleeping. I don't know. Okay, you can leave the meeting. So there are total 19 members are attended the today's class. Okay, thank you. Thank you. I send the record also. This record.